Now, turn to Task 3, questions 13 to 20. You will listen to an interview. For questions 13 to 20, choose the correct answer, A, B, or C. Now you have 45 seconds to look at the questions for Task 3. Now we are ready to start. Listen carefully. You will hear the recording only once.
Greetings, dear listeners. I am pleased to introduce the guest of today's program, Andrea Zafirakou, an arts and textiles teacher in Brent, the UK's Global Teacher Prize winner. Andrea's work and approach to her work are very much extensions of her personality, always positive, solutions-focused, and finding the best in everything. Her art room is a place of safety, a place for young people to explore who they are and what they think about the world, a sanctuary of expression and creativity. Andrea sees art as a language-free method of communication. Working in a complex, economically deprived, and challenging part of the city, she has created space for children to work after school and has introduced classes on well-being for staff and students. We invited Andrea to find out more about her work, as well as her views on the teaching profession, how her life has changed since winning the prize, and what the future holds for her. Hi, Andrea. First of all, congratulations on winning the Global Teacher Prize. And I would like to ask you, what inspired you to become a teacher?
Thank you very much for your congratulations. And as for the teaching profession, it wasn't a choice that I ever had to make. I think the only choice I had to make was when I was going to do it. When I was young, in my primary school, my teacher used to tell my parents that I was far too bossy, that I used to tell teachers how to do their job. It's just always been there. But what was quite important for me was to establish who I was first in terms of my own artistic profession, a researcher or an educator. After I graduated from university, I wanted to experience the different areas of the textiles industry so I could be clued up and savvy. I worked as a textile designer prior to undertaking my postgraduate certificate in education and have since taught for 13 years at Alperton Community School.
You work in an ethnically diverse area. How do cultural differences affect your approach to teaching?
I think it's the best part of my school because we've got an incredibly diverse mixture of nationalities. And what we're doing is helping the students socialize and learn about these different types of experiences that other students are having. Obviously, there are language barriers that we do experience, which can prevent a lot of the initial teaching and learning. But what we do to support that is we make sure we have staff in place, like bilingual teaching assistants, that can be the bridge to help them access that. But not only that, it's the way you teach in the classroom by having more visuals. What is key is making sure you are trying to bring in the cultures of your tutees within the delivery of your lessons.
As a teacher, what one thing do you need more of?
Time, for sure, because the day goes so quickly. And I think another thing teachers need more of is appreciation. Teachers work so hard. They work above and beyond. They work during vacations. They are inside doing additional classes, getting kids ready for their exams. Teachers do their job in such good faith. They don't want to get it wrong. They don't want to fail the kids at all. But on the other hand, they are working themselves to ground.
You are involved in work beyond the school gates, for example, with local police to ensure safe travel to and from school. Do you think it's important for teachers to extend their responsibilities to pupils outside of the classroom?
Teachers are working incredibly hard. The work that my teachers do after school and the hours they put in just blow me away. I'm a senior leader, so I have the pleasure of growing new staff, and the first thing I say to them is make sure you're building your relationships. And relationships sometimes happen outside the classroom. So going out and playing football at break time with them, sitting next to them while they're having lunch. These little things mean you're building up knowledge of the children, and you'll find that they really appreciate that. The children are being looked after and cared for. You're interested in them. They are not just a number. They don't feel like their journey there has no meaning.
Would you recommend teaching as a profession to a close friend or relative?
I have. I will always do that. I think it is the greatest job in the world. But they need to go in with eyes wide open about what it really is. Because it is hard, and it does not get easy. I'd say to them, speak to teachers. Work as a teacher, for example, for a week, to understand what it's like, and only then make a decision. Otherwise, you will not understand the specifics of this work.
What are the most important qualities you think a teacher should have?
They've got to be confident to show children how much they love their subject. And when they deliver it, they've got to show they are enthusiastic. Children want to have someone in front of them who is inspiring, whose eyes light up when they speak about something. I would also say you need to like children, to enjoy learning about their world and what triggers them to be motivated, and to be very humble as well.
What do you enjoy most about your job?
All of it. I love the challenges. I love seeing children grasp what I'm teaching and developing their own work, becoming really great individuals. I love it when my children graduate and they come back and become teachers. I'm actually working alongside people that I used to teach. And also, it's just such a fulfilling job. Even with the challenges we have to deal with, it's still worth it, because you know you are making a difference. You are changing lives. You are developing people.
What's the best thing that has happened since you have won?
That is hard to answer. It's impossible to suggest just one. Every day is different. I have met and continue to meet the most amazing people. However, I'm very proud of the birth of Artists in Residence, charity organization, and the impact that it has had on our schools even after a few months.
What do you think are the biggest challenges for the arts in schools and cultural education generally?
The English Baccalaureate aims to ensure students have a broad and balanced curriculum, keeping options open for further study and future careers. But the impact and drive of English Baccalaureate have created a perception that the arts are not priority subjects. As a result, our students will be deterred from choosing the arts as they feel that they would not benefit from them in the future. However, on the contrary, it has been suggested in a report published by World Economic Forum called Future of Jobs that the skills required in the future are that of creativity, problem-solving, and critical thinking that are mostly developed in the arts subjects.
What are your personal goals for your teaching career in the next 5 to 10 years?
I think that the arts subjects bring some incredibly important skills which our children need when they graduate and compete for jobs on a global scale. What we need to do is get arts into school for every child. So I'm thinking of finding a way of bringing artists, musicians, designers, and filmmakers, these incredible creative industries and professionals who are doing fantastic jobs. I want them to come into school and show our children what it's like. And not only do that, maybe do some projects with them so children can grow.
We sincerely thank you, Andrea, and we wish you every success with the future growth and development of AIR.
That is the end of Task 3. Now you have 2 minutes to check and copy your answers onto the answer sheet. You have 30 seconds left. This is the end of the listening test. Thank you.